This farmer had to take out a small loan to be able to plant his sugarcane. But it's still not clear whether he can cover those costs. Everything looks lush and green to the untrained eye. Surely the €1,000 loan shouldn't be a problem. But the farmer says it's far from a bumper harvest.
Whether we sow beans or corn, we lose a lot of our crop. The sugarcane up there has basically dried out, and the stuff back there looks a lot better than it is.
We've come to the province of Nariño in southern Colombia. This area is in the Andes at an altitude of 2,500 meters. Much of it is farmland. Climate change has made the harvest increasingly unpredictable, so farmers are relying more than ever on extra help. Chemical pesticides and fertilizers may keep pests away, but they also strip the soil of nutrients. The concept of environmentally sustainable farming is not yet widespread in Colombia. But in the regional capital, Pasto, a start is being made. Banks specializing in microcredits advise farmers how they can adapt to the new conditions brought about by climate change. Here, microloans are not only awarded to those just starting out, but also to encourage existing farmers to change to more sustainable methods. These include, in particular, techniques designed to save water. And so a steady trickle can be heard in many areas, as water is directed specifically to the roots of the plants where it's needed. The equipment for this costs €1,000, but it apparently pays for itself within a year. Bank consultant Ana Cristina says farmers here urgently need to change their methods. She studied conservation and takes us to see valleys where the natural vegetation is gradually disappearing.
Here, much of the area has turned to desert. There's hardly any green left. There are still people living here, but there's hardly anything growing. A family can grow a bit of grain to make bread for their own consumption, but that's it.
The young banking consultants are also environmental advisors. They're part of a UN program developed in Germany for the whole of the Andes. Sometimes the consultants learn things themselves while on the job. We visit Gabriel Shikaiza. He has no problems with rain shortages. He has left the forest surrounding his land intact. And he tells us that he's always managed his water using the age-old methods of Colombia's indigenous peoples. The arid conditions suffered by most farmers in the Andes are not an issue here.
We're not that affected because the water here is what comes from up there, just like it always was. We collect it, and then through the plants it can vaporize again. Sometimes I even have enough water to give to people back there. Other farmers really need to understand this principle to protect themselves from climate change.
Bank consultants have a good reputation in this part of Colombia, as we discovered the next day. The Contactar staff often travel long distances to visit their clients and potential clients. They offer training sessions to farmers that are clearly well attended. Today they're discussing the advantages of organic fertilizers over chemical ones. But not everyone is open to taking a loan, even a microloan. This farmer, for example, financed his first cow simply by scrimping and saving.
If you take out a loan, they've got you just where they want you. If I borrow 500,000 pesos, why should I pay back 2 million pesos in the end?
Loans here are indeed expensive by European standards, but buying an oven for €1,000, which requires just 1/4 of the wood that a conventional oven would use, means less work and helps preserve the forest. For farmer Juan and his family, the investment makes sense. But they are already known to be reliable in paying back loans, so they get an interest rate of less than 5%. They used their last loan to buy chickens. They now use the chicken droppings to produce organic fertilizer.
We use this when it's hot. And it's good for the soil. It makes our work worthwhile.
Farming vegetables is their main line of work. But should things deteriorate on that front, they now have a second source of income.
Nosotros hemos aplicado 10. This is just one of 10 methods that we're using to help the farmers. We give microcredits for ecologically efficient wood ovens, biogas plants, solar-powered coffee roasters, water tanks, a whole range of things. Plus, we provide training on how to adapt to climate change.
These people are the future of Colombian farming. They're studying agricultural science at the University of Nariño. They're learning about sustainable farming methods. How to take care of the soil is just one of many new skills that they're learning at a model finca. The idea is that farmers would also be able to come here in the future to watch how sustainable farming methods can be combined with modern, small-scale technology. And so we find ourselves standing on the edge of a valley that shows what the future could hold for Colombia, where areas that were once almost barren could be transformed into green oases like this one.